Hi, welcome back. So this is another video on my left hand technique exercises that I do. So what we're going to do today is kind of like two movements. So you're going to do a hammer on and then immediately a pull off. So this is kind of a triplet, right? So one, la, li. So all one thing. And you know, the book is a little tricky because the next one is going to be the opposite. It's going to start with the one you ended with, right? So pull off to a hammer on. Right, so hammer on to pull off, and then pull off to hammer on. And you go all the way to the first string and back to the sixth string, and you do all different combinations for your left hand. So, and it does kind of shorthand in the Pumping Nylon book. So it'll show you the first one laid all the way out, and then it'll put little, you know, like, okay, do 2 and 3 now, and it'll give you a little, you know, a little example of it, but it won't write the whole thing out. So. And so when you do these, it's important to do kind of a rest stroke pull off. And so, you know, with the right hand, you have rest stroke versus free stroke. Right, rest stroke, you're landing on the string next to it. For this one, is same thing. So you want to pull across, kind of down and across into the string next to it. So why do that? Well, it puts more definition into the pull off, right? So sometimes if you pull straight up, you get this, you know, it sounds decent enough, but it doesn't have enough definition. It should almost sound like a pluck note as well, right? So you kind of have more sensation of the left hand actually is plucking the note, right? So you pull off, hammer on, and then you pull straight across. And what this also does, if you practice a lot, and you have kind of thick skin, thick calluses, what it will do is it's a great way to warm up, right? Because it loosens the skin. And if you pull across, you get more of that, you know, softening of the tissue at the tip of your finger. So when you do pinky, make sure your palm is really close in. Right? You don't want to be really far out with the bent wrists and all this kind of stuff. You want to be really close in, which is kind of has a lot to do with the thumb in the back, right? Most people overlook the thumb in the back when they first start playing guitar, but it really does set every movement up. In one of the previous videos I did for the stretching exercise, my thumb is almost right at the edge, right? So this one that I went down like this, it's right at the edge. If I was up here, there's no way I could even reach, right? There's no way I could reach it. So you have to think a lot about the thumb in the back. So once more, so if I'm doing pinky, so 3 to 4. And for the pinky, you know, you're never really right on the tips of your fingers. I mean, sometimes you are, right? But you really should try to get, you know, as close as possible and develop that callus on the tip of your finger, because it's going to make a better sound. It's also going to help you avoid hitting adjacent strings. You know, if you there's another piece in here called I think the Pale View or something, where it's a lot of campanella style. So what that is when you're playing what could be played on one string across many strings, right? And so you have to avoid the strings next to it while you have the, what is it like? Yeah, that's what it is. Right? And so being on the tip, again, just translating that over to that exercise, right? And then pulling across. And as I go across, my thumb in the back is also following along just like that, right? Right as I go, and then back up here, okay? And don't be afraid to touch the palm to the fingerboard, right? You're not really gonna touch a lot, maybe towards the index finger, but not too much. And you certainly don't want to be like this where you were favoring the index finger for these exercises. Once again, you're not gonna be able to reach it, right? So you kind of have to facilitate it, bring it in closer like that. and I'm pretty much touching. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment and a like. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.